Hey, Miseducation listeners! We're already on our 9th PS Weekly episode. Time flies. Before we get into it, I want to make a quick plug to you all. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe and rate this podcast. It would truly mean the world to us. For those of you using Spotify or Apple Podcasts, tap the button that says follow or the plus sign in the top right corner of your screen. Next, tap the star icon and give Miseducation a rating. 5 stars, we hope. Even better, on Apple Podcasts, you can also leave us a review. It may not seem like much, but more ratings and reviews go a long way towards helping new listeners find our show. In the meantime, we're staying busy preparing the content you look forward to every Monday. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Mira to kick off PS9.
Thanks, Sabrina. So, for the past couple years, The Bell has been running a summer program in partnership with Gimlet Media called the Summer Youth Podcast Academy. Over the course of 3 weeks, the students create their own original podcast episodes. You can listen to their stories on our website, bellvoices.org. One story from that program that I still think about to this day was from 2 years ago by a student named Kesar. She did one of the bravest things. She examined a very difficult period of her life and had a conversation with her mom about it for the first time. She wanted to see if a discussion like this could help her mom open up about her own struggles. Yes, Miseducation is a podcast about inequities in the school system, not family stories. But we wanted to share this one with you today on PS Weekly because it's a powerful reminder that the issues students face outside of school have a big impact on their lives at school. Plus, it's just a really important and well-told story. So, today we'll be airing Kesar's episode, followed by a conversation where she reflects back on it and talks about what's changed since that interview with her mom. And just a final note before we begin, today's episode does contain a reference to a serious mental health related incident. From the Miseducation podcast, this is PS9, Mother, Daughter, and the Elephant in the Room. I'm Mira Gordon. It's so good to see you again.
It's so good. It's so good to see you also.
And our listeners don't know, but we're seeing each other in person for the first time, so it's very exciting.
Yes, I've only seen you in screens and in Zoom.
I know, it's crazy. Can you start by introducing yourself to everyone?
Hi everyone, I'm Kesar, and I'm a freshman in Queen's College, and I'm majoring in psychology.
That's awesome. Well, how are you doing? How have you been?
I'm taking it one step at a time.
Yeah. I mean, freshman year is a huge transition, so props to you. It is. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to play Kesar's story, and then we'll talk about it after. Here it is.
November 2018. I'm sitting in a flight, all by myself, coming to the US to live with my mom. I'm 14 and have arrived at the airport. I'm feeling sad, nervous, and angry. I'm not sure how it's going to be like in a new country and how it's going to be like living with my mom. When she picks me up from the airport, it's the most awkward meeting someone can have. Wonder why? You will know soon. My name is Kesar and I live in Queens, but I'm originally from India. When I was little, my mom was studying to be a lawyer and my dad was taking care of his business. When I turned 5, my parents sent me to a boarding school. I lived there for 7 years without my family. But then, in 2016, my mom left for the US. So I had to come back home from my school to take care of my little sister. I came to the US by myself in 2018 as my mom was alone and we were facing a financial crisis in India. My dad thought to send me here to support my mom, study here and do a job. So that's why it was awkward when she met me at the airport in New York. I haven't lived with my mom for most of my life. We had different perspectives. To her, I was still a kid. I didn't even know her. It was difficult to cope with everything and adjusting in a new country. I was outgoing in India, but in America, meeting new people just made me get a shell for myself. Fighting with my mom all the time just made me hide away all my emotions. One day, things hit rock bottom. I had an incident at school, and I was rushed to the emergency room where I got psychiatric help. My mom was there with me, but after I got released from the hospital, we never spoke about that day. This also made me wonder what my mom went through, thinking she also may have had struggles in her life, as she was alone too when she came to the US. I wanted to know her story. I wanted to help her. I now know how much mental health issues can affect you. I wanted to ask her if she was okay and if she was also tired of fighting. I needed the answers. When you have unanswered questions, they really mess you up. So I thought of taking this interview as an opportunity to get to know my mom and her story. This would be the first time in forever, us actually sitting and having a conversation. I just didn't know how it would go. Mental health is a sensitive issue, and her reacting to it was just making my legs shake. But I wanted to take the stance to help our relationship, and also that this conversation was long needed. Hello, Mama.
Hi, Beta, how are you?
I'm good. So, today I'm going to take your interview. Thank you for being my guest. How are you doing?
I'm good today.
So, are you nervous?
No, I'm okay.
Clearly shows how nervous I am. Well, to know, let's get right into it. I asked her when she came to the US and what her journey was like.
I can tell you I left my country like 2017, maybe February.
Okay.
So, almost 5 years passed.
After she arrived in the US, she found an apartment. What was the place?
It was in New York, cities Richmond Hill and Queens County.
My mom had never worked in India, and it was really difficult for her to know that she would have to struggle to live here and find a job. She was continuously rejected by job sites due to not having government papers.
I never do any, the labor work at my country. I was very good over there. And when I come over here, then I ask for a job. I have nothing. I have no, work authorization.
My mom tells me that she has a bachelor degree in law. But when she tried getting a job here, she faced challenges, as her degrees from India had no value. Was language a barrier for you?
Yeah, definitely, exactly.
My mom told me that her landlord knew of a restaurant where she could take a job as a waitress. Knowing my mom, I knew she was not very fond of it. She realized she was happy in India. She was emotional that she was without her family and had to work. But she didn't fall apart. She thought to herself that she would struggle and only then will be able to survive. So also, did you have any support for your family, your relatives? Did they help you?
I didn't get any kind of support from my family, from my relative, from my friend.
She also struggled to pay rent and phone bills, and there was no job for her to rely on. She sometimes didn't have food to eat. But still, she didn't give up and held her head high. My mom did many odd jobs to pay the rent and also sent money to India, and did whatever she could do to support herself and her family. You know, what I found most interesting when I was talking to my mom? I learned this was not the first time she had gone through these challenges. It was then when she told me how she struggled to give birth to me back in India. She told me that when she got married, neither her parents nor her in-laws supported her during her pregnancy. On top of that, she had high blood pressure that risked her health. She felt really helpless as there was no place for her to live. While telling me all this, she started to cry. No, stop. क्यों रो रहे हो आप? इसमें रोने वाली क्या बात है? इसमें रोने वाली क्या बात है? Don't worry. ले रो क्यों रहे हो? मत रो क्यों रहे हो? कमाल है. रो मत. रोने की क्या बात है इसमें? हाँ? No, don't cry. रो मत. It was really hard for me to listen what she had gone through in the past, and seeing her cry made me feel so helpless. And I felt so bad. The sad part was that she was still struggling for her family. I then told her something she didn't know. I told her about what happened the day when I was taken to the ER. So, I'm going to tell you what happened with me. It was like my second period. in my school, and I was not well. And I told my teacher I wanted to use the restroom. And as I went to the restroom, I started to cry. I started to cry so loudly. And really, I was feeling like so sad. I don't know why I felt that. And I was crying and crying. And it was really difficult for me to stop. And then I fainted. And my school dean, she came to help me and she took me to the therapist. And when I woke up, I kept crying and crying. And I told her that, I wouldn't want to live anymore. And that was the day that I didn't, feel like living anymore. And my therapist called you in emergency and they called 911. And you remember they took me to the hospital.
Yeah, I was with you. I can't forget these days.
And then she told me her side of the story.
And I got a call from my daughter's school. She said that cases something wrong and she's sick. I say, but I totally scared and I was, like literally sweating. I asked again, what happened, what's going? And then I come back and then I called my job. I have to go first to see my daughter.
I also told her how therapy was working for me. I was able to get hold of my emotions and feelings and was able to express them better. I really got the help that I needed, the support that I needed. And I'm so happy to be able to share this with you. Mm-hmm. Do you think your perspective has changed about mental health? Do you think it is important now?
Yes.
As we were talking, I could see that she was in tears because she had never thought that her daughter could ever take the step. I saw she was happy and sad at the same time.
I was so full of tears in my eyes and I was full of cheer in my cheeks. So, the together tears and cheers, the mix today. So, my heart is a bit, very, very light.
She assured me if I ever felt low anytime, I could come and talk to her. She was happy that I was safe and alive and that this happened at school and I was able to receive the right amount of help that I needed at that time. She was really shocked that this thing could happen to her daughter. And then I asked her the question I most wanted to ask. And I want to ask you this. Would you consider therapy for yourself?
For me? No, I'm okay.
Why not?
I'm telling you,
well, you can take your time.
No, if therapist, what do you call?
Therapist.
She can, she or he, she.
I have a she therapist.
Okay. One time, she can talk to me one time. If she noticed that something I needed, then okay. But I guess I'm okay. I want to talk to one time.
Okay, so you consider talking to a therapist
Yes.
for like one time and see that if you really need therapy or
if
not.
If she found me something because we don't know about that ourselves much.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if she the therapist very experienced, they did experience a lot, they studied about that, right, they have an experience of that, so that's why. So that's why I can
consider,
yeah, I can go with them.
Okay, really nice. I mean, because of this interview, I could, inspire you and make you consider going to therapy. And
okay.
Do you think you need therapy or not?
Yes, I like after listening, after talk to you, I talk Kesar. So yeah, I consider I need.
I felt really happy after talking to her. This also gave me the courage to speak to her about the most difficult things in our lives and also helped us to know each other better. My mom felt really happy and thanked the program for suggesting that I take this interview with her. I think it went pretty well. In the end, I would say, don't be ashamed to share your story. Mental health is very important and significant in almost everyone's life. You never know what a person goes through when they're having mental health issues. It does not choose you based on race, gender, class, or age. It sometimes just happens. You might see someone and say, they seem okay, but are they? The story is really close to my heart. I hope it can reach people and inspire them to look out for their family and loved ones. I am Kesar Gaba and I wrote and produced the story for the Summer Youth Podcast Academy, a program of the Bell in partnership with Gimlet Media. I'd like to thank Rose Rimler and Mira Gordon for their support. Thank you for listening.
Well, how does it feel listening back to that episode now, 1.5 years later?
I really feel happy. I feel happy that, I was able to do the interview. I was able to actually do the podcast, my one dream.
Do you remember what it felt like to sit there and interview your mom?
The moment when, my mom started crying, I really felt the chills again, and I didn't want her to cry. So I really thought that she was crying right now at this moment. I wanted to call her because even though there's this, gap in between us, but there's this love that comes in between, and that moment was like, I have to call her.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel that. It makes me want to reach out to my family members. It's so tangible, those emotions.
Yeah.
So if I remember correctly, this interview with your mom was a really big deal to you because the two of you hadn't really sat down and talked about her struggles or your struggles. And as you said, you were really nervous beforehand. How did this interview impact your relationship with your mom?
With my mom, we actually, started talking, started helping each other, and sometimes she would need some help with, electronics. She doesn't get laptops and phones, and sometimes I help her without, getting angry. But there's this, sweet, bitter relationship that we have going on, and it's been tough. It's been real rough, but we're taking it far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, in your episode, you talk about how difficult that was to move, to the U.S. from an entirely different country. You're sort of taking on more of this adult responsibility here.
When I came here, it was rough in the start. It was really, really difficult in the start. But as I got used to this, and used to my school, used to being, having friends and everything, I kind of didn't really vibe with, people, but I vibed with myself.
So I have to ask, did your mom go to therapy?
So that's the question that I fear. She did not. I convinced her in the episode also. It says that, she would, but she was hesitant then. She's hesitant, now. And I feel it's going to take a while. It's a generational thing. And there's generational trauma that goes on. And I hope to break it. I really hope to break it. But this is how it is. And hopefully she'll go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lifetime ahead, right? There's no set timeline.
Yeah, it's better this way, I guess, because you can't force someone. You can't tell someone to do what they want to do, because she's a grown adult. She's mature enough, and she knows what's right, what's wrong. She has experience of 40 years. That's what she tells me every day. She's like, I'm 40. I know what to do. I know what you need to do. And I tell her every day that, you know what? I also know what I need to do. And it's going to get better.
So I know that you really wanted to shine a light on the importance of mental health with this story. You were telling me all about that as you were creating it. I remember that really clearly. What would be your advice to other young people who feel like mental health is a taboo topic or just not really understood in their households?
I feel mental health has always been outshadowed, and it needs to be shined, it needs to be highlighted, it needs to come up. Actually thinking about it, actually taking care of yourselves, taking care of your family, reaching out and just being there for one another is important. And I know healing is not easy, and it's tough. It's medications, it's therapy, it's appointments, it's a lot. But I think people can make it.
That's beautiful. Do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with the listeners?
Yes, I feel everything you want to do, you can achieve. Dream a lot, and just make those dreams a reality. And I know it's going to be tough. Walking that road to success is really tough. But if you put your mind to it, put your heart to it, put your soul into it, you're going to do it. You'll be able to do it. Ask for help. I think that's one thing that you should always do. Ask for help. It's not bad. It will get better. It won't get any better if you don't ask for help. I think that is one thing that you should do. Dream and ask for help, because it always works out.
Thank you so much. I have to say, everything you've already done is a testament to that advice that you just shared. So thank you.
Yeah. Just one last time. Don't be ashamed to share your story.
You were an amazing participant of our program, and I can't tell you how proud I am of this episode.
Yeah, me too. I'm so happy, and I'm so proud and so happy that I found, the Summer Youth Podcast Academy, and I enrolled. So this is the best, I feel.
Well, great. We'll wrap up here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
If you or anyone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts, you can call 988 to reach a suicide and crisis lifeline. For those of you listening from NYC, you can text WELL to 65173 to get connected to a range of mental health resources. We'll be accepting applications for the Summer Youth Podcast Academy in late spring. Meanwhile, the Bell is currently working with partners across the city to address the youth journalism gap. Please reach out if you'd like to get involved. Oh, and do you have an idea for an issue that you'd like us to cover in an upcoming episode? Let us know. You can DM us or email info@bellvoices.org. Miseducation is a production of The Bell. You can learn more about us at bellvoices.org, and if you're not doing so already, follow @MiseducationPod on social media. Our work is made possible in part by the Summerfield Foundation, the Pinkerton Foundation, and FJC. Today's episode was produced by me, Mira Gordon, and Taylor McGraw. The story was written by Kesar Gaba with help from Rose Rimler. Music from Blue Dot Sessions and Lens Lewis. Thanks for listening.